the second reason for taking part in Networx25 was that bit with the S3 solutions and the mentoring and supports around that. So I found the workshops and the mentoring really invaluable.
I'm Sarah Jane Waite. I work for S3 Solutions as the Head of Operations there. For the CFI Networx25 programme, I will be looking after the business mentoring support. That will include supporting the groups through workshops, residentials, training, and through the focused mentoring support.
So initially my mentor was Sam, and Sam came out on site and had a meeting with myself, and we went through a whole procedure paperwork. So he was looking at our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities and our strengths, and he took all that away and collaborated the programme specifically tailored towards us. So then what happened then was each time I met with the mentor, we only met with the mentor after one of these sessions. He specifically focused on one of the areas that was one of my weaknesses, and he came back with a bit of theory, and a lot of examples of previous organisations he's helped and supported, and he also gave you an action plan. So he gave you the action plan to do over that coming month, and then the next time we reached out, he would ask you about that there, and then we'd build on that there. So you would do, you got minutes of the meeting, and you also got a PowerPoint with all the links of what he was talking about, all the resources that he was talking about, and then you were then given that priority over the next month to get done.
So for our wider kind of social enterprise, I think having access to the mentoring has been fantastic. For us, we have done some work on our business plan previously, but as with many things, time has moved on and changes have happened even within the organisation and within the services that we deliver. So it really was brilliant to carve out dedicated time to actually sit with a mentor and start from scratch again, blue sky thinking, what does this look like? Are we going on the right trajectory for the organisation here? And what does the future look like for DOTS as a social enterprise?
I think some of the valued learning that we got from the participants and also from S3's support there within the programme has been fantastic. Their support of getting the mentorship has really met the needs of us as an organisation, but we felt that there was a struggle. There's a mindset where this is, it's sort of how far can we take this, and what do we need to change to make ourselves better as an organisation, more sustainable and more impact within our community. And the value of the product here within the networks has delivered in that and helped us sustain it. We've still so much more work to do, but it gives us that hands-up approach to helping us feel more valued within ourselves and also more impact within the community.
One of my mentoring sessions was moving away from that grant funding, and another one was how to make your grant funding more successful, how to make your applications more successful. My previous one there yesterday, I had my last one, and it was about marketing. So it highlighted the difference between marketing and PR. And as a social enterprise of rescued adopted animals, we have a lot of stories to tell, and we look at that storytelling as the way forward rather than we're open on Saturday at 11 o'clock, please come along. It's sharing your stories, sharing your successes, sharing the positivity. We have a lot of positivity in our story, and it's looking at opportunities to get that out there. So from my mentoring from yesterday, it's reduce the marketing and focus more on the PR. So getting local newspapers in, social media platforms like Belfast Live, they love to share really successful stories, and that gets your word out there and lets people know about your awareness as well. And people love a good story too. They love to see, they don't want to just come, like Tourism and I, for example, have found now that tourists want to be sustainable. They're more aware of their carbon footprint and stuff like that. So if they can come and make a difference, so if we're letting our tourists know that if you come and visit us, you're leaving a lasting impact, because that money's used to care for these animals, that money's used to provide adults with qualifications in a real life setting, of doing their animal care and their hospitality courses. And it means that when they go back to wherever they come from, that they have known that they've left a nice positive impact on that area.
I don't know if there's been huge changes, but there's definitely plans in place. So a big part for us is that sort of social impact measurement. So we've kind of brought that forward, and it's something that we've been working as a team, and the sort of resource planning, which is what we worked on with our mentor. It's in place, and it just needs a bit more buy-in from the team to kind of push that forward. So they're the two main focuses for us going forward.
Our budget was 10 years old, and we've been working in that environment of trying to get more funding in. But getting funding in just for salaries is near impossible, because you actually have to, incorporate a project or another program onto that application that will include money for salaries. So by being part of Network25, we were introduced to Sarah Jane, who is part of S3 and is in charge of the Accounts Ready.
We had published our strategic plan last year, so we spent a lot of time with our mentor about how we actually monitor and evaluate how we're performing against our strategic plan. So just looking at kind of, it's very it's simple enough stuff. It's Excel sheets, but it's just having a methodology for how we look at how we're performing against all our KPIs, and then we're reporting back to our board on that. So our board reports have got more strategically focused, I suppose, and it's not just a whole lot of activity. It's actually showing the activity against our strategic objectives, and that's been a turnaround in the last 6 months. So that's been really positive.
It was just the general chat, even over dinner. I think it was the first or second session we had, and something just clicked. I thought, well, we have that budget, but it's 10 years old. But if we could try and use that money, that we can meet the needs of the organisation whilst, still being able to employ somebody, maybe to reduce the actual 35-hour post down to, say, maybe 16, we could actually increase their hourly rate and make more use out of the budget that we have, albeit it's 10 years old. So that's where we are at the moment. That's what we've actually got. We have a contract now with Accounts Ready. We have a 3-month initial contract with them, which obviously then will renew itself. I think it's the end of this month. But we're still looking to recruit somebody for those 16 hours, and our budget has only come through for a 3-month period. So whilst we've enough money for 3 months, there's still no guarantee that we'll get the full budget, if you like. So, but we just have to wait and see, But at least we have a plan going forward, and that's what Network25 has brought us.